You pass beneath the wide stone archway with your field chart still in hand. At once the air changes. The dust and parchment stillness of the map chamber gives way to sunlight, open sky, and the sharp living noise of the training grounds. Steel rings against steel. Wooden practice blades crack together in fast, disciplined bursts. A shouted correction cuts across the field, followed by the pounding of boots over packed earth. The grounds spread wide across the hillside below the academy, tiered into broad practice yards divided by low stone walls, wooden rings, and lines of moving targets. Some targets slide along enchanted rails with sudden jerking speed. Others swing from suspended beams or spring unexpectedly from hidden slots in the ground. Farther out, students run obstacle paths marked with walls, ropes, narrow balance beams, and climbing frames. Everywhere you look, heroes are training. A pair of guardians braces behind practice shields, while a third student circles, searching for an opening. Two mages stand near a line of targets, shaping bright arcs of controlled magic that strike painted circles with precise bursts of light. Not far from them, healers kneel beside a student with a bruised arm, murmuring over the injury while faint green light gathers around their hands. The academy had already felt alive. Here it feels sharpened. The line of initiates slows as the training path opens onto a central practice yard. Waiting there is the man you noticed in the Hall of First Oaths, Master Oryn. He stands with the stillness of someone who has no need to prove his strength, because everyone around him can already feel it. His short iron-grey hair is cropped close to his head, and a faint scar crosses one weathered cheek. His training armour is practical and worn, reinforced with steel plates and marked with teal academy accents, dulled by years of use rather than ceremony. A wooden practice blade hangs at his side. He watches your group approach without speaking. The silence stretches just long enough to make several initiates straighten their shoulders. Then his gaze drops to the field charts in your hands.
So,
He says at last, voice firm and dry.
I see that Scholar Elowyn has shown you where the roads are, so at least you know how to walk.
A few nervous smiles flicker through the line. Oryn folds his arms.
Knowing where you are going is the first step of any journey, he says. A hero who does not know the paths of Arelun is already in trouble.
He steps aside and gestures to the vast grounds around him.
But a map is patient.
His eyes sweep over the training rings, the targets, the climbing walls, the students moving through drills with hard-earned focus.
The world is not.
Master Oryn begins walking across the practice yard, clearly expecting the initiates to follow. You do,
Out there,
he says, nodding once toward the distant hills beyond the academy walls.
an enemy will not wait because you hesitated. A spell will not manifest without the right gestures. A wound will not stitch itself. Fear will not kindly greet you before it takes hold.
He stops beside a rack of wooden practice weapons and lifts one blade from its place.
No hero starts prepared, and preparing you is my job.
With one sharp motion, he tosses the practice blade toward a startled initiate at the front of the line. The initiate barely catches it. Oryn does not react.
You become ready.
He says,
Through discipline, through daily training, through repetition.
He points with his chin toward the nearest ring, where two older students circle one another with training spears.
Through sparring duels.
A burst of light flashes across the target lane to your left as a mage's spell strike lands cleanly.
Through precision.
Then his gaze returns to your group.
And through learning what kind of vulnerabilities hide inside you before the enemy finds it first.
No one laughs. Master Oryn sets the practice blade back into the rack and begins moving again. He leads the initiates past one section of the grounds after another, each revealing a different kind of training method. A cluster of guardians works in formation, stepping together so precisely that their practice shields act like a single wall, locking into place. At a nearby lane, students fire arrows at moving targets, while an instructor calls wind corrections. Farther on, a line of mages stands over etched circles in the ground, shaping small, controlled bursts of flame, light and force. Each spell measured more for precision than power. Healers stitch wounds on practice dolls made of cotton, their deft hands closing gaping tears as if they never existed. Soft green healing magics accelerating their skill. Then he leads you toward a stone practice court where several healers move between sparring pairs, watching for injuries before they worsen.
Do not make the mistake
Oryn says,
of believing the training grounds exist only for striking blows. There is more to a fight than blunt force.
A broken formation is weakness.
Oryn continues.
A mistimed spell is weakness. A wounded ally no one notices is a weakness. A missed opportunity can mean the difference between victory and defeat.
He turns back toward the initiates.
Discipline is not just striking hard. It is knowing your place, holding it, and understanding who depends on you.
That quiets even the most restless students. Master Oryn studies the line. Some clutch their field charts more tightly. Some watch the older students with open admiration. Some are trying very hard not to look intimidated. He notices all of it.
At time,
He says,
you will train alone. You will learn your balance, your strength, your mistakes. You will learn to hone the powers of your own blades, staffs, and needles.
He gestures toward the broader fields.
But no hero achieves greatness without allies.
His voice hardens slightly.
The day will come when the person beside you fails, or falters, or fears they cannot continue. On that day, what matters is not looking impressive.
His scarred face remains unreadable.
It is whether you can inspire your comrades.
The wind moves across the hillside. Below the grounds, beyond the lower stone walls, the forests spread outward from the academy in dark green waves. A river glints in the distance. Somewhere far beyond, the mountains stand like blue iron against the horizon. Oryn follows your gaze.
That
He says.
is why these grounds exist.
He lets the words breathe.
Not to make you feel strong,
His eyes return to the initiates.
but to make sure you can endure the trials of Oryn when feeling strong is no longer enough.
For a few moments, the only sounds are the training fields around you. Boots striking dirt. Weapons meeting wood. The low hum of shaped magic. A whistle shrilling from the obstacle course. Then a new sound cuts through it all. A horn. Not the bell of the hall. Not the ring of the forge. A single sharp patrol horn from farther up the slope. Several older students glance instantly toward the western edge of the grounds. Master Oryn grins. He turns toward the far side of the training complex, where a stone path rises toward the outer wall overlook.
Your next lesson
He says.
Does not focus on martial prowess.
He nods toward the path.
It begins with watchfulness.
A few initiates exchange uncertain looks, but no one speaks. Oryn steps aside, motioning with his arm, making the direction clear.
Captain Mira Voss waits for you beyond the walls.
He says. The name moves through the line like a current.
Put your maps away, for now.
He adds.
You will need your eyes focused.
You fold the field map and tuck it safely into your satchel. Around you, the other initiates do the same. Then, with the sounds of the training grounds at your back and the outer wall waiting ahead, you begin climbing the path toward Captain Mira Voss and your first lesson about the patrols of the Academy.